Thank you, Perry. My next role here today is to introduce to you David Gilbert, and there's not a whole lot more I can say that not everyone else here before me has said about David. He is the president and CEO of the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission. Let's welcome David to the stage.
Thank you. I don't know which mic. Here we go. Thanks, and appreciate being here. And Jim and Perry, thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. This is an interesting topic today. I think we all read a lot about sports in the sports page and hear about it on TV and in the sports news, but we don't hear a lot about the business of sports, and it is very, very big business. So we're very fortunate to have a tremendous panel here that I think will inform all of us on a very interesting topic. The Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, we're a nonprofit organization. We were reformed about 10 years ago. And our mission, in a big picture sense, was to transform Cleveland and Northeast Ohio into a national capital for the hosting of major events. And in the end, we are about economic development. While we get involved in sports and we use it as our tool, we are an economic development organization. And what we do day in and day out is to attract and manage and create national, international events to our community. And certainly, in the last 10 years, we've now been directly responsible for over 90 events. I think we're actually going to have another pretty good announcement in the next couple of days. And those events have a cumulative economic impact of now over $300 million directly into the local economy. So they certainly are some very sizable events. We've gotten very into creating and owning and operating events, and the way we operate is that not only do we attract events to town, but we have an infrastructure that helps to run and manage every one of those events. Over 90% of those events, we have had some significant hand in, up to fully running and managing those events, which really is a real added boost to the sale and the ability to bring events into town. And certainly big ones like the Women's Final Four and the Dew Tour and Gravity Games and things like the 2013 National Senior Games, which will have 13,000 athletes and 35,000 people coming to town, down to very small ones, the U.S. Jump Rope World Team Trials, and a lot of ones that, believe me, are not very sexy events, but in the end, they all bring people to town, and all those people spend their dollars, and that's really what it's all about. Before we move on to the panel, we have a number of questions. You all have on your table these small clickers, if everyone wants to put those in their hands. Basically what we're going to do is just to find out a little bit about our audience, and then we'll move on to the panelists. So we have some questions that are up on the screens. I ask you those questions, and then if you just press the corresponding number, the answer will come up. We'll see who's here, and then we'll move on to the next one. So the first one, pretty simple question. Hopefully everyone gets this one right. Are you male or female? You have 10 seconds to answer each one. Our survey says 61% male. And it'd be interesting to see how that corresponds to attendees of the sporting events that our panelists will be talking about. Next question, your age. All right, again, very, very diverse, which is great. Next, where is your business located? Finding out where everybody in this room came from to be with us tonight, or today. Thank you for that lovely background music. That's great. Actually, look, 55% of the people came from outside of downtown, which I think is great. as Renee said, it certainly shows the power of this topic and the power of sports in our community. Next question, is your business a segment of the sports community? Finding out how many people in here are directly related to the topic we're talking about. Actually much higher than I would have thought. So certainly a lot of people here related to the business of sports, but again, almost 60% that just have a passing interest. Next, are you a season ticket holder of the Cavs, Indians, or Browns? %. I don't know, guys. I don't know if that's good or not. So we'll have to. What's that? Oh, that's right. As Len and Mike said, that's 74% who are leads. So see them afterward for their cards. So a lot of people in here are prospective customers. Next, how vital are the area's professional sports teams to our local economy? Extremely vital, somewhat vital, or not vital at all? That's, I think, very good answer there. 86% say extremely vital. And next question, similar to that, how important is it for the region to host major sporting events such as NCAA tournament games and the National Senior Games? Very important, somewhat important, or not important? For those of you who say not important, you can see me afterward. Very good. Thank you for that vote of confidence. What type of impact do these teams and events have on your company's bottom line? Large impact, slight impact, or no impact? All right, I think that's actually pretty good that 76% of the people feel that there is some direct impact to their company's bottom line, as opposed to just a general community impact. And finally, the 2013 Cleveland will host the National Senior Games. What dollar amount do you think the region will benefit from an event of this magnitude? And you see the numbers on the screen. Actually, people had it right. The largest, the estimated impact on the event is $35 million. So you could see these big events bring a significant amount of money to the region. How we're going to run this today is we're going to have our panelists come up in a minute. I'm going to be asking some questions for each of the panelists to answer. We'll take that till about 1:15. And afterward, we'll open it up for about 15 minutes of questions. So I'm not going to do a bio on each of our panelists, but I will tell you again that we are very, very, it's great that we've got three such high-level sports executives on our panel, with Mike Keenan from the Cleveland Browns, Len Komorowski from the Cleveland Cavs, and Mark Shapiro from the Cleveland Indians. If you guys all want to come up, collectively they represent probably about 55 years of major sports experience at the highest levels, not just in Cleveland, but in other teams throughout the country and in the biggest sports leagues around the country. And again, we're very thrilled to have this group here.